Poppy Playtime Chapter 4 is closer than ever, but still, we know close to nothing about the new Grabpack updates within this game, as they have happened in every chapter so far. But I aim to change that in today's video, as we'll be theorizing what new Grabpack mechanics will be introduced in the long-awaited chapter. So if you don't know, in every Poppy Playtime chapter, we are introduced to single or multiple new Grabpack updates. In Chapter 2, we lost the red hand and got the green one, and in Chapter 3, we lost the green hand, but received not only the flare gun and purple hand, but also the Grabpack 2.0, which had a few new features like air jets. This chapter also introduced us to the mechanic of switching hands mid-gameplay. But now, you might be thinking, what new updates will we receive in Chapter 4? What hands will we lose? And what new hands will we find? But before that, we need to understand why we lose and gain new hands. It's pretty simple, because new mechanics are introduced. But for the removal of mechanics, it is usually because the mechanic is no longer useful for us, or it has been overused to the point where it becomes annoying. Now that we know that, it's time to get into what Grabpack hands we'll be losing. Another thing I wanted to do before getting into the new Grabpack hands is to debunk the theory of a Grabpack 3.0. It's honestly a very uncreative idea, and doesn't make much sense. So, it's more likely we'll be getting new Grabpack hands instead of a Grabpack 3.0. First of all, we can assume that we'll be keeping the purple hand for most of the game, as in a Chapter 4 screenshot that seems to be deep into the game. There are platforms to utilize the purple hand. There is still the possibility of us losing the purple hand near the end of the game, like we did with the green hand. But that's almost impossible to tell with the information we have at the moment. We'll also have the blue hand for the majority of the game, as we can see this blue hand scanner in the Yarnaby trailer. The blue hand is also an OG, and has been around for every game, so I don't expect us to lose it. Furthermore, I also don't expect us to lose the flare gun early on. This is because of both the smiling and nightmare critters. In Chapter 3, we used the flare gun to ward off the ruined smiling critters in the playhouse, and we will seemingly be doing the same thing in Chapter 4, as we can see a ruined nightmare critter in the Yarnaby trailer, specifically powered. This implies that all the other nightmare critters will also be crawling around the prison area. We also see a ruined Bobby Bearhug in this chapter for screenshot, confirming that both ruined smiling and nightmare critters will be in Chapter 4. But I do expect us to lose the flare gun at some point, mainly because it's very gimmicky in nature, compared to the other Grabpack hands, which have much more common use. But now, it's time to get into the new Grabpack updates. Due to the elimination process, it's extremely likely that the new hand for this chapter will be a yellow hand, as the colors red, orange, green, blue, and purple have already been taken. It's hard to pinpoint the exact purpose the yellow hand will have, as we don't have any information at all as mentioned previously. But I do expect it to either be movement related, like the purple hand, or offensive related, like the flare gun. It could also be used for defensive purposes, like to block jump scares and chases. But what do you think? Do you agree with me? And if not, what Grabpack updates do you expect? Let's talk in the comments.